Okay, today I'm going to talk about all the different kinds of twists you can do and the difference between twisting and rolling. So I'm going to lie down. Feel free to follow along or just watch. Okay, so I'm going to start with what we call like a simple knee sway. And what I'm going to do is try to keep my sternum and my chest really square as I let my knees and pelvis twist across to one side. And I'm going to stop basically when my chest feels like it needs to come with it. And then rolling back through center. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side because each side's going to feel a little different of letting my knees rotate. But again, my sternum is trying to stay square in the center and then coming on back. So if I were to let my sternum twist with me, if I were going to let my knees go and my ribs and chest go with me, I'm no longer twisting per se, I'm more rolling. Picture like a rolling pin moving as a unit. It's kind of more what's happening versus like twisting, like you twist a jar, like the top off of a jar. That's sort of what we want more of because that's what we're lacking. And then rolling on back. And then same thing to the other side because again, each side's gonna feel a little different. And then rolling on back. Okay, so that's like stage one. You wanna really try to figure out how to get that organized first, and then you can make it more advanced by crisscrossing your legs, and then repeating the same thing again. I like to just keep a hand in the middle of my sternum because it helps to remind me if I'm moving. It also helps me feel it a little bit more, and then rolling back through center, and then you would swap out which leg is on top. Same thing, twisting the knees and pelvis. This side's a little tighter, and then rolling on back, right? So this one, because the top leg is heavy, and that's what's pulling the weight across, it makes my obliques have to work a little bit harder to stabilize my sternum from moving, but also it's a lot heavier to pull back through center. So it's a little bit harder, but in a positive way. And then same thing to the other side, twisting across. Oh my goodness, I am tight today. And then rolling back through center. Okay, so, and then you would take it up to the more traditional restorative exercise twist where I'm gonna pick my pelvis up and I'm gonna shift it a little bit off center. I'm gonna slide my bottom leg down and then bring the other leg up to tabletop in the direction that I went in. So this knee and pelvis are gonna twist across over to the left, again, only as far as I can go without my sternum really coming with it. My hip comes off the floor. And actually what I'm trying to do is sort of relax in this position and let gravity sort of pull my leg across my midline. You can also put a prop under this knee or under this side of the pelvis so that you can really relax if you feel like you're pretty restricted, which I think most everybody kind of is. Yeah. Also, you might feel some pinching on the inside of your inner thigh, kind of groin area, and that basically means, I'll come back, that I can keep my pelvis level and just lean my leg. That doesn't mean I twisted, it just means I've leaned my leg. Versus, if I keep my leg pretty much the same angle in the hip socket, but I turn my hips so that my leg is going at the same rate as my pelvis, that's a little different, and then it doesn't pull so much on the inner thigh. Yeah, but it's kind of hard because you have to use some outer hip work to keep you stabilized. That's why it's nice to have some props. Just hold you here. So I'm gonna try the other side. I'm gonna pick my pelvis up and overshoot it over to the left. My right leg's coming down, my left leg's coming up. This is very bizarre doing this upside down, but I think you can see better this way. But same thing, I'm gonna turn my pelvis and my knee across my midline. I'm gonna keep my sternum really square in the center. Whew. And then I'm gonna let gravity help me to relax. Wow, my obliques are sore. A little tight. My bottom leg tends to be tight when I do this, so I try to relax it, especially the outside of the glute. I'm almost bracing. So I just wanna relax into that. So again, I can prop under this hip, I can prop under this knee, just so I can hang out here and breathe for a little while. And then rolling on back. And then the more classical exercise, say like in Pilates, is when you bring both of your legs up to your shelf or tabletop. It's the same thing. I'm trying to keep my sternum square and I'm gonna let both knees and pelvis twist over to one side, but only as far as I can go without my chest coming with it. And then exhale, drag the pelvis and knees to return. And then same thing to the other side, twisting across. Again, trying to keep my sternum square so that I'm not rolling off the table, but I'm actually twisting. And then rolling back through center. You want to keep the knees relatively level. If anything, when I twist, I try to reach out with my top knee a little bit more. Kind of helps bring this hip across. And then rolling on back, and then same thing to the other side. Kind of reaching up through this top knee, twisting across, and then rolling back to center. Twisting versus rolling, right? So that was a roll to get back up. Hopefully that helped you out. Take care.